You stand at a crossroads where fate and divine will collide. This moment is no accident. It's not some random twist of life's chaotic web, nor a mere chance encounter with destiny. You have been summoned here by a force far greater than yourself. Called by a sacred appointment etched into the cosmos. Every shackle that tightens around your spirit, every invisible chain that clamps down on your heart, is poised to be shattered. This isn't just a whisper of hope. It's the roar of a revolution in your soul. A war cry resounds through the depths of your being, echoing that the darkness you've endured will be overwhelmed by a power no shadow can withstand. You have wrestled with silence, borne the weight of invisible burdens, fought battles hidden from the world's eyes. The pain you carry, whether whispered in the depths of night or masked behind a brave face, has not gone unnoticed. If you have ever questioned, does anyone see me? Does anyone understand this war within? Know this. You are seen. You are known. And your suffering is cradled by a love so vast it defies understanding. The one who holds your tears has marked this moment as the beginning of your liberation. The courtroom is set, and your accuser's lies falter under the truth that your freedom is ordained. This is the battlefield where you are not a victim, but a warrior. Your scars are not symbols of defeat but emblems of resilience. Proof that you have survived what many could not. Now, every chain, visible or hidden, will break. The whispers that once told you freedom was beyond reach will be silenced by the thunder of your rising. This promise of healing is no empty vow. It is a covenant sealed in divine power. You are not here by chance. You are here on purpose. Your pain, your struggle, your very existence is woven into a grand design that calls you to rise above every shadow. To embrace the light that awaits beyond the storm. The weight of despair will lift, and in its place will be strength, unyielding, fierce, unstoppable. I speak not from a place of distant theory but from the core of witnessing this power unfold again and again. Freedom is real. Healing is tangible. Chains break not because of luck or coincidence but because there is a power greater than all that binds you, ready to unleash its might. If you are listening, if your heart still beats despite every whisper of doubt, this is your moment. The chains that once bound you will no longer hold. Rise now, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Your divine appointment calls you to claim the freedom already prepared for you. This is not merely a message. It is the ignition of a fierce, unshakable truth. You are destined to walk free, healed, and victorious. You are not alone in the darkness that clings to your soul, nor in the quiet battles fought behind closed doors. The exhaustion that weighs heavy beneath your forced smile is seen. The restless nights, where sleep evades and hope flickers faintly, have not escaped notice. Your pain is a thunderous cry, a deep, echoing storm reaching far beyond what the world perceives. It's a truth too many carry in silence, hidden beneath layers of pretense and fatigue. But I tell you now, there is a presence near, a power awake to every tear you've swallowed, every whispered prayer sent into the void. You have never been abandoned to your suffering. Your tears have never fallen unheard. There is a God who does not demand explanation, who refuses to judge the brokenness you hide. This God waits with open arms, longing not for perfection but for your raw, unfiltered presence. You do not have to perform or explain the weight on your heart. You don't have to justify why the night terrifies you, or why your soul feels fractured. Simply be still, surrender to the divine embrace that calls you to lay down your defenses. to unburden yourself without fear. It's in this sacred stillness where healing begins, not the quick fix the world offers, but a deep mending that reaches the marrow of your being. In surrender, the fog lifts. The confusion that once tangled your thoughts untangles itself into sharp clarity. The sorrow that has held you captive transforms, becoming a reservoir of strength you never knew existed. I have witnessed this transformation countless times, arising from the ashes so fierce it defies logic. The wounds, invisible to the world, start to breathe again. The spirit within you awakens like a mighty river, flooding through every crack and crevice of your soul, washing away chaos, replacing it with peace that anchors and steadies. This peace is not silence but a voice, a bold declaration that shame and silence no longer have dominion over you. You may doubt this promise, especially when the night feels endless and the weight of loneliness presses hard. I understand because I've walked that shadowed path, but the truth I hold close is this: the divine spirit moves in the deepest places, where human eyes cannot reach. It speaks over your silence, whispers over the shame that once threatened to drown you. It breaks chains that seem immovable and breathes life where you thought only death remained. This healing is not abstract or distant. It is a force as real as your next breath, as tangible as the tears that have stained your pillow. It calls you to rise from the ashes of despair, to claim the peace that transcends understanding. When you surrender, you align with a power greater than any pain you carry. And in that alignment, you find a refuge, a sanctuary where your soul can rest and rebuild. So do not shrink back into the shadows of your hidden pain. Step forward, even if trembling, into the light of this promise. You are held, you are seen, and you are loved beyond measure. The journey through healing is fierce, but you are never alone, never. Let this truth anchor you as the river of His Spirit rises within, transforming your sorrow into an unstoppable strength. Look deeply at those chains wrapped around you, thick, heavy, relentless. They have strangled your spirit, confined your dreams, and whispered lies of defeat for far too long. But here is the undeniable truth. Those chains are fragile against the eternal power that moves the cosmos. The same force that commanded oceans to part, that leveled mighty empires with a mere word, that conquered death itself with open arms, now turns its gaze to you. It is a power not bound by time or circumstance, a power that rents chains and shatters prisons invisible and seen. This is not a distant myth or idle hope. It is the living reality that courses through your veins when you awaken to the truth of your freedom. You are not alone in this battle, nor are you the first to fight. The war for your soul was won long ago on a rugged cross drenched in sacrifice. The victory is not something you must earn. It is a gift to be claimed. Addiction, depression, shame, trauma, they may roar like storms, but their fury is broken by the blood that bought your liberty. When you stand in that truth, the chains lose their grip. The darkness trembles and falters before the roaring declaration of your soul's freedom. I have seen countless souls weighed down by invisible chains, convinced their captivity is permanent, their battles unending. But what I have learned, and what I now tell you, is that the chains do not define you. Your identity is forged not in captivity but in the triumph of resurrection power. This power is not theoretical, it is fierce, palpable, and unstoppable. When you speak boldly, "My chains are no match for my God," you invoke a force that shakes the very foundations of darkness. It is a proclamation that resonates across realms, igniting hope where despair once thrived. Do not underestimate the significance of this moment. It is the turning point where what once held you captive becomes the very proof of your unstoppable rise. The chains that felt so immovable begin to crumble, falling like brittle walls before the relentless tide of divine power. Your name, once whispered in fear or shame, now rings out like a battle cry, heard by angels and shaking the dark forces that once claimed dominion. This freedom is not earned by strength of will but received by faith, a radical trust in the one who conquered death. To step into this freedom is to embrace a new identity, a new destiny. It demands courage, yes, but more than courage. It demands recognition that the battle is already won. You are invited to walk out of the prison of your past, leaving behind the chains forged by pain and fear. I challenge you to declare it boldly now, with conviction that shakes your very core. My chains are no match for my God. Feel the weight lift, the power rise, the darkness recoil. This is not just freedom. It is victory, purchased with blood and sealed by resurrection. It is the power that calls you forward, beyond every chain, into a life fierce and free. Shame has clawed at your heart, whispering cruel lies that threaten to define you by your darkest moments. Your failures, your regrets, but listen closely. This is a deception that must be shattered. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are not the shadow of your worst hours. You are chosen, set apart by a love so profound it rewrites your story completely. Redeemed, not by your own merit, but by a sacrifice so great that it overwhelms every fault, every misstep that once chained your spirit. The blood of the Son does not merely cover your past, it purifies, cleanses, and transforms every stain into a testament of grace. In a world eager to condemn, grace stands as an unshakable fortress. No accusation, no whisper of guilt can penetrate the sanctuary of forgiveness where you now dwell. The accuser tries relentlessly to steal your peace, to remind you of what you once were. But do not let those voices steal what has been fully forgiven. You are beloved, immensely, unconditionally loved. You are righteous, not because of perfection but because of the Father's unwavering acceptance. Clothed in this divine love, you walk no longer burdened by shame, but wrapped in the dignity of grace. I have seen too many souls crushed beneath the weight of condemnation, drowning in a sea of self-reproach. But the truth I hold tight, the truth I speak with fire, is that forgiveness is more powerful than every failure. It breaks chains that shame tries to tighten. It lifts the fallen and restores what was lost. To claim this truth is to rise from the ashes of regret, to step boldly into your true identity, chosen, redeemed, free. Declare it now with fierce confidence. I am forgiven. I am free. I am not ashamed. Let this confession thunder through your soul, reverberating until shame retreats like the night before dawn. This is not mere words. It is a lifeline, a declaration of victory over every lie that once held you captive. Your identity is restored, not by your own strength, but by the power of grace that cannot be undone. This restoration is not passive. It demands your voice, your courage to claim what has been given. It is the battle cry of the redeemed, the anthem of those who refuse to be defined by failure. I urge you, do not shrink back into the shadows of shame. Step into the light of your true self, where grace reigns and love never fades. You are chosen, you are redeemed. Your identity is no longer a prison but a crown. Wear it boldly, live it fiercely, and let the world see the unbreakable truth. You are forgiven. You are free, and chain has no hold on you. Every chain forged by addiction, control, lust, or the desperate grasp for false escape has long whispered its deceit, promising relief while tightening the grip of slavery. But today, in this moment, those chains break. Hear me clearly. You are no longer a prisoner to those lies. You do not belong to the darkness that has tried to claim you. You belong to a power far greater. God's relentless, unyielding love has claimed you, and with it comes liberation. Raise your hands not in defeat, but in surrender, not surrender to bondage, but surrender to resurrection power. This power is not a vague hope, it is an active, cleansing fire that reaches deep into the roots of every stronghold. It scorches the hidden places where addiction took hold and burns away the lies whispered in moments of weakness. You are not powerless. Within you burns the spirit of freedom. Fierce and alive, this spirit does not merely offer escape but equips you to stand firm as a warrior, resurrected from chains, armed for battle, ready to reclaim every part of your life that darkness once stole. I know the weight of those chains. I have seen the devastating toll they take on mind, body, and spirit, but I have also witnessed the radical transformation that happens when one chooses to rise, not as a broken victim, but as a conquering warrior. This choice is not easy. It demands courage and raw honesty. Yet it is the path to true freedom, where the cravings lose their power and the lies fall silent beneath the roar of truth. Step forward now with new strength coursing through your bones, clarity illuminating your mind, and joy igniting your spirit. This is no empty promise. It is a battlefield victory already won. The lies that once ensnared you begin to drown beneath the flood of truth. Every whisper that said you could not change is drowned out by the declaration that you are free, free to walk boldly, unshackled, and fully alive. This breaking of strongholds is not just about stopping destructive patterns. It is about reclaiming the identity and purpose stolen by bondage. It is about rising from ashes of despair with fierce determination and unwavering faith. The journey is hard, yes, but the power within you is greater than any struggle you face. I challenge you to embrace this truth with every fiber of your being. Let go of the numbing, the hiding, the excuses. Surrender fully and watch as the resurrection power sweeps through your life, breaking chains that once seemed unbreakable. You are not alone. You are not weak. You are a warrior forged in fire, resurrected by grace, destined to walk in freedom. Today marks the end of addiction's reign. Today is the dawn of your new life, strong, clear, and joy-filled. Walk boldly into this freedom and let the spirit inside you roar louder than any chain. When despair has threatened to swallow your hope whole, when the future feels shrouded in a fog so thick you cannot see the path ahead, there is a call, a summons to lift your eyes and believe once more. Hope is not lost, it is being restored. The same God who breathed life into dry bones is now stirring your buried dreams, coaxing them from the grave of yesterday's failures into the dawn of a new beginning. This is not just a poetic promise. It is a tangible reality waiting for you to embrace with open arms. Your past mistakes, those moments you thought would define your entire existence, are not your destiny. They are the fertile soil where new life begins. The failures, the stumbles, the heartbreaks, they are not the final chapter but the very ground from which strength and renewal will burst forth. I know it's tempting to declare an end when the pain feels unbearable. But such declarations deny the divine narrative written just beyond your sight. God's timing is inscrutable, operating on a clock that does not tick by human impatience or despair. Now is the season for hope to rise, for dreams to be rekindled, for your soul to awaken to a new purpose. You might feel weary, beaten down by setbacks or trapped in a cycle of disappointment, but this weariness is a prelude to restoration. I speak not from theory but from witnessing countless lives transformed by a hope so fierce it defies logic and circumstance. This hope breathes peace into chaos, clarity into confusion, and joy where sorrow once held dominion. It reaches into the darkest corners of your heart and sets a fire that no storm can extinguish. Your story is far from over. The chapters yet to be written are filled with promise and possibility, waiting for your courage to take the pen. Your best days are not lost in the past. They lie ahead, bathed in peace, brimming with purpose, and overflowing with joy. This is the resurrection of your soul's narrative, the reclaiming of your destiny from the ashes of despair. I urge you to hold fast to this truth when the night seems endless and the weight of uncertainty presses hard. You are not defined by what you have lost but by what is still to come. Hope is not a fragile wish but a powerful force that resurrects dreams, renews vision, and ignites the heart's deepest desires. So, rise with the dawn of this new season. Walk forward with confidence knowing that the God who calls forth life from death is calling you now. Your story, marked by hope restored, will be a testament to the triumph of faith over despair, light over darkness, and life over death. Freedom is not a fragile emotion that fades with the changing winds. It is an unshakable gift, an inheritance secured by sacrifice and sealed by the Spirit's power. It is not something to be earned through toil or merit but something graciously given, a divine endowment that marks you as God's beloved child. To live in this freedom is to live in truth, knowing your value is not defined by the world's standards but by the unbreakable covenant of love that holds you. Walk boldly, unashamed, with a heart that refuses to be silenced. Let your voice rise like a trumpet, a clear and fierce testimony to the chains shattered and battles won. Do not hide the scars or the struggles. They are the proof of your victory, the marks of a warrior who has faced the darkness and emerged radiant. Speak openly of the peace that has settled in your soul, a peace so profound it drowns out every fear and doubt. Let your joy become a contagious flame, spreading warmth and hope to those still trapped in shadow. Love fiercely and without boundaries, for this is the signature of one who knows freedom not as a privilege but as a birthright. Storms will inevitably come. This journey is not promised to be easy or without trials. Yet, remember this: no tempest can prevail against the God who commands the seas to be still. You are never walking this path alone. In every crashing wave and thunderous gale, His presence is your anchor, steadfast and unwavering. Your bravery is born not from your own strength but from the profound truth that you belong to Him, that His power flows through your veins. I have witnessed the transformative power of living in this freedom, how it turns ordinary days into declarations of hope, how it turns fearful hearts into fountains of courage. It is a radical way of life that refuses to be defined by past wounds or future fears. Instead, it claims the present with authority and grace, grounded in the knowledge that you are deeply loved and fiercely protected. To walk in freedom is to embrace a new identity, one that refuses the chains of shame, guilt, and fear. It is to step into a destiny crafted by love, sealed by sacrifice, and guarded by an eternal promise. This freedom empowers you to live fully, love boldly, and face the unknown with unshakable confidence. So stand tall in this truth. Let your footsteps echo with the assurance of a child of God who is both chosen and cherished. Live out your freedom not quietly but loudly, a beacon to all who long for release. The journey is yours to claim, brave, unbroken, and beloved, walking in the freedom that is your divine inheritance. Your freedom is not a treasure to be hidden but a torch meant to blaze a path for others trapped in darkness. It is a radiant light piercing through the shadows of silence and shame. A beacon that calls those still bound to step into liberation. Every word you speak, every act of faith, every moment you choose obedience over fear plants seeds of deliverance in the hearts of those longing for release. You become a vessel carrying not only your own story of triumph but the power to ignite transformation in countless lives. This is the sacred responsibility bestowed upon you, a calling far greater than personal victory. A divine mission to extend healing and hope beyond your own journey. Do not falter now, even when the road seems long or the battle's fierce. Hold tight to God's voice each day, allowing His presence to be your refuge and strength in every season. When doubt creeps in or weariness threatens, return to that sacred wellspring of peace and power. Speak your freedom aloud with unwavering boldness, letting the declaration ring out like a battle cry. Today my freedom began. God broke every chain, and I will never be the same. This proclamation is more than words. It is a revolution that shakes the very foundations of captivity and ushers in a new era of hope. I have seen how one liberated soul can set an entire community ablaze with courage and faith. Your story, once steeped in struggle, now pulses with purpose and power. This transformation is contagious, drawing others from their own prisons toward the light you carry. You are not simply walking a path of personal freedom. You are marching into a divine mission ordained before time began. A mission to bring healing to the broken, hope to the despairing, and freedom to the captive. The world desperately needs vessels like you, brave, unshackled, and fiercely committed to carrying the light. Each step you take, each story you share, chips away at the darkness that threatens to consume. The chains that once bound others grow weaker as your testimony grows louder. You are a living testament to the power of grace and redemption. A walking miracle proving that no bondage is too strong, no night too dark for the dawn of freedom. So rise now with all the courage and fire within you. Step boldly into this mission with confidence and compassion. Share your story, ignite hope, and become the beacon others desperately seek. Your freedom is a gift meant to be shared. So like, comment, and share this message with those who need to hear it. Together, we will break every chain and light the world with the unstoppable power of freedom.